structure that has been set up here to, kind of set this up as a prison planet, as a slave planet, if you will. I mean, we're basically, we think we're free Americans, but we're really not. Not free like we should be. I mean, we work our whole lives to basically just to survive, and it could be a whole different structure. So basically, the higher advanced races, what they work off of is a share economy, if you will. So, basically they say that you do what brings joy in your life, and there's a lot of education and knowledge going on here. Consumerism it just doesn't exist. I mean, we spend our whole lives just occupied with buying trinkets and gadgets and things like that are just going to end up in the dump somewhere. Hi, how are you?
I apologize.
No, you're fine. You're cool. We can probably move this table up a little bit and put you up
we
here.
have
Yeah,
some
let's
chairs
do
here. I apologize.
There you go. Okay. All right. So it's based on share economy, if you will. So basically, you have something that you do. Say, you're a farmer, if you will, or you do construction. You like to build, or you work on spaceships, if you will, and then you just share with each other, and you don't overdo it. You don't overabundance yourself. That's basically where the problem we run into here. We've got the elite who want way more than they could possibly even have, and then we have the haves, and then we have the have-nots. So basically, I mean, if it was based on share economy and the wealth was evenly distributed, then everybody would survive quite well.
Are you referring to like the Illuminati, or kind of being like in between for the Anunnaki for us?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I brought up this concept before. I used to do. I used to speak a couple of times at the UFO Club of Virginia Beach. Anybody ever heard of that? The one that goes Cameron puts on. So y'all know Cameron? Yeah, that's an awesome club. But I spoke there a couple of times, and I got blasted one time and said, well, that's communism, that's socialism. Well, no, it's not. I mean, you kind of think of it like socialism a little bit, but see, socialism was corrupt, Sure, everybody got equal share within the ranks, but still, the people running the country were corrupt, and they were doing, the same thing that the elite do, here, basically. So to say that it couldn't exist it's kind of ridiculous, because I'm doing it here. This is a perfect, and I was thinking about this too the other day. This is a perfect example of how a share economy would work. I've been doing this for the last 2 years. I put a lot of hard work, a lot of hours of research, my own time, my own money, into developing this group and making it happen. And this is my gift to y'all. I don't charge a dime to do this, and I never will charge a dime to do it, ever. So basically that's how a share economy works. You work at something really hard that you love to do, that brings you joy, and I do love doing this stuff. I just get so excited about reading about this stuff and where humanity's going in the whole 9 yards, and I want to share it. And I really don't want to speak out that too loud, but it kind of disturbs me that to have to pay like hundreds of dollars to go to seminars like this, and this is stuff that we should all be sharing for free. And that's when I went to Dr. Greer's thing, and it was a wonderful thing, but charge $300 to do it. My idea was like this type of stuff should be free. It should be shared. And it really didn't occur to me until like the last week or so, like, wow, that really is the perfect example of how a share economy would work. You really work hard at this, you put your own money and effort into it, you're doing it for the benefit of what I think is the benefit of mankind, and then that's how, people have different specialties, they do different things, and then they share with each other, and that's basically how that would work.
it seems like it would only be two ways for that to happen. One is if you walled off one area of the world, you know, where nobody could get in or out and everybody agreed on that. Or two, we had a collective raise of consciousness, which I'm hoping is what 2012 is really all about.
Right. Well, what's happening now? And we're getting bombarded with you know, energies and information.
But that, everybody would have to be on board with it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry. When did you first hear of Dolores Cannon?
Probably about a year ago, I caught her video on Project Camelot.
Okay.
And she was interviewed by Carrie Cassidy.
Okay. Well, that's just one of the reasons why I'm here. But I read.
Oh, I love her to death. I want to meet her.
I
want her to do a past life regression on me so bad.
Yeah.
And I researched on her website, and there's two people in the area that's because she does classes and she teaches her technique. Well, what her technique is. Well, first let me go back a little bit. So she got involved with the ET phenomenon when MUFON asked her to do past life regressions for abductees, if you will. And basically, the people that were doing it prior only go down a certain level in the consciousness. And at that level of consciousness, they're experiencing the fear, they're experiencing the anger, the frustration of being abducted. And what Dolores's special technique is, she goes way down deep into the consciousness past emotion, so she can get to the root of what's going on without experiencing all the emotion. Is from what I understand. I don't know. I'm not a hypnotherapist, but that's what I gathered out of it. Is what her special technique is.
These 3 books you have to read, especially Keepers of the Garden, and what all you're saying, it's all in there. She's taken these people way back.
Yep.
And
she's done it with thousands of people, and she asks, certain questions of, what she wants to find out about what's happened in the history of the universe. And she's got all these bits and pieces from thousands of people, and just has been able to put together one big complete picture, from beginning to end of, basically what's happened and where it's going in the future.
And
so
through her, it's proven that there's many, many universes out there.
Yep.
Doesn't she actually communicate with the aliens when she takes these people in trance?
Yeah, it sounds like she is.
She communicates with them, actually.
Yeah, that's what I gathered out of the video
That's
too.
where she gets most of
But
her
when she
information.
describes her technique, you would think that she's actually talking to the person that she has under hypnosis. But then again, you think about it, people's souls are split up, and there's different existences, and it wouldn't be hard to fathom that if you're talking to somebody's, higher self here, why aren't you talking to their higher self, way far in the future as well, too, Think about the quantum physics thing. But yeah, she's awesome. Oh, anyway, so I was gonna get back. So she does. I went on the website, and she teaches her technique. And there's 2 people in the area here that took her class. And I emailed both of them and said, hey, will you do her technique? Will you give me a past life regression? So I never heard back from her. So I'd be fascinated to see what happened in my past lives. How I got what I did and how I got to this point, what my experiences were. I'd love to know.
Can I ask the class a question?
Sure.
Is anybody in here that's had past life regression done? You have? Were you involved with any aliens at all?
I was told that I saw aliens when I was an Aborigine in Australia, probably 2,000, 3,000 years ago, something like that. And I drew it on rock art. He said that it's still there today.
Did they have any trouble putting y'all under hypnosis?
Well, I guess it wasn't regression like that. I wasn't under. I tried to do that one time and could not even go under. But,
Yeah, I haven't
this
been
was,
able to go out, tried it.
this was just somebody reading my past life. By the way, Heidi met Dolores Cannon in February,
Oh.
or April rather, just last month.
Who were the 2 people that have taken classes from her?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Okay.
It's on her website though. You can bring up her website and she lists everybody that she's taught the class to. And, you know, it has, you know, their email addresses right there, contact information. And so I shot off emails to both of them, see if one of them would do it, and neither one of them responded, so I get a lot of that. I send out emails all the time, nobody listens to me.
Conference, and you could have met her and had it done, and the conference is free. You listen to the speaker is free, and she was one of the speakers.
Oh, really? Where, here?
What conference is it? Well, they usually have it in Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee.
This one was in Virginia.
Yeah.
Well, it's Bristol, so it's right there.
Right. Yeah, that's not too far for her to travel, because I think she's right there in the Ozarks in Arkansas.
But if you'd went there last month, you could have met her and had the impression.
Yeah.
Because she was taking on, you know, while she was there, she was taking on clients.
It's hard for me to get around. I do a lot. I do.
I just wanted to address briefly this gentleman's question. Back in the late 80s, I did a guided meditation for past life regression. Dick Sutton, he was pretty well known back in the late 80s, early 90s. And I did a guided meditation, so you don't have to really go deep under. It's just like a deep meditation. And that was the first time I did a past life regression and got some answers for myself. And I've done past life since then with other people that have done a guided meditation for me, but I was able to get information.
Well, I came here, and they tried to regress me, and they couldn't get me to.
Yeah.
go into the
Sometimes
hypnotic state.
real quick, it's been my experience. Sometimes it's that we expect it to look a certain way, and that kind of blocks us. And it doesn't have to be as hard as what we expect it to be. It really can be quite simple. It's just a deep meditation, kind of like that. Give it another chance.
Okay, so get back on different types of ETs and what they're like. So what I've gathered from different contactee testimonies is they have different body structures, like crystalline structure, as opposed to like our third dimensional existence here is water based, which we're changing, we're evolving into, you know, leading up to what's going on here in 2012 and with the new Earth and everything. That's basically what we're going to be going to. Instead of having to eat so much, they draw a lot of energy from pure prana, straight from sun's energy. They absorb prana. They hardly have to eat. We say that, you know, they basically just drink light refreshment from time to time if they want to. They have, you know, abilities like being, you know, higher dimensional beings. You know, that, you know, we think about space travel. How do you get from one side of the universe to the other? Well, if you're a higher dimensional being and you exist as pure light, you know, you're going to be able to bam, just like that, you know, wherever you want, anytime you want. Most communication, telepathic, you know, because they fully develop their third eye, you know, so that they're able to communicate telepathically, which surprisingly is developing for me. I've been able to have instances with people that I'm closely connected to, or even a guy I work with. It's more than once a week. You know, I'll be thinking, you know, something in my head and want to tell him, and then change my mind, and then he'll answer the question. I was like, oh gosh, that is weird. You know, so I mean that's you know, I know I've done, you know, a lot of meditation, you know, trying to connect, you know, my third eye chakra to the pituitary gland, and try to, you know, start to develop that